In CMX2, we've completely redone the presets idea, so you can save your own palettes. So let's go ahead and do that. We have an image open. Let's do an analyze. Actually, I already did an analyze of this image, but I'm going to analyze it again, just to be thorough. And let's say I sort of like that. I'm going to do some smoothness settings. I can change these later, and maybe an opacity setting. I don't even have to apply it. If I like it and I think this works, I can go up here to the top of the panel. There's a little icon, a single user icon. Those are my presets. Now I can click the plus button at the bottom and add my preset. See that? I can right click or control click the actual palette itself, the color bars, and I can rename it. So I can call this Natural Pools, because that's what that is, right? I can choose to make it a favorite here if I want, or I can hit the little heart next to each name. And if I do that, it pops up near the top of my list. So no matter how long my list gets, I always have my favorites on top. What I've noticed that I'd like to have like 4 or 5 favorites on the top. That might use them for skin tones. I might use them for overall general toning, a good starting point that I usually like, etc. But you can do whatever you want. But then we have this full color spectrum on top, set up with the 6 different bars, and you can click like the yellows and it'll show you your yellows. It'll show you ones that relate to green. There's none in that case. There's reds, see? And then there's like a bluish, and there's the cyans. And of course, if colors have palettes have a lot of different colors in them, like this one called Natural Pools, it'll kind of show up on the one that it's mostly done of, right? Most of the colors that is represented. And here we have some pinks. We can click it again to turn it off. Always a good idea. We can click on alphabetic to view it by alphabetic if that helps us, of course, with our favorites, our hearted ones, always on top. By the way, I meant to show you earlier, if you right click the palette to go to the settings of it, you can hit delete gradient right here and get rid of it if you want. Now, you can also additionally, the little icon to the right of each one, I can click and go, boop, give it a second. It turns into two little people there. That means I'm sharing with the community. And that's the community tab up here, right? So here's everything that we've played around with in the community settings. And you can still come in and go, I need warm palettes. So you hit on the warmth and you can see kind of what warm is doing. You know what? I need cool palettes. Let me see what's happening. Not a lot. Or I can see my cyan palettes, etc. Let's see what's going on. Yellows and greens, etc. And you can choose by alphabetic if you want as well. Turn off greens. You can choose alphabetic or by date. And that, we encourage you guys, all of our CMX2 users, we want you guys to give us feedback on community because we want to expand this. We want to keep this growing the way users want. So we can share palettes, we can save our own, etc. By the way, when you're on your own settings here, if you want, like Natural Pools, you can stop sharing it by clicking it again, and it's no longer being shared with the community. But we believe in being able to expand as an artist by making sure we share all of our ideas. There's no such thing with CMX2 or really anything with, quote, stealing a color palette to make it look like that. We encourage exploration. That's what we really want. And that's why we have our user settings, something we can start with, and sharing into the community. Because at the end of the day, Color Map X, CMX2, has always been about fun. It's about getting your creative juices going and playing around with color in a way that doesn't feel like a chore. And then you get something really, really cool. But then the function of it is that you can replicate what you create across different images. You can drag and drop the layers because it's common Photoshop layers that you're familiar with. We can save presets to use them later. And of course, we can share, like I said. It's all about fun. It's all about creativity.